going to be looking at how to create a higher order component in React. So you guys, maybe during your React learning, you have been doing some research or some read-ups, and you came across where they mentioned higher order components in React, and you kind of like wonder what that could be or how that is, or like, but you kind of like try to like wrap your head around it. So higher order component in React is not just like the normal component we know, though it's still a component because it's being used in multiple places, like it's being used across pages. So you can still say it's a component, but the higher order component, the higher being attached to it makes it a little bit different from other components. That's because the higher order component accepts component as a prop. But why the normal component, it just accepts a props, normal props, which we know. But this one, I accept a component as a props, whereby you can, instead of just passing a prop where you use it inside a page, but you can pass that entire page to it in form of the props. So we'll be looking at how we can achieve that. So why learning that, will be looking at how to implement a two-peak higher order component, whereby when you hover on a component, it displays a text for you. Like each time your mouse enters a page or a component itself or anything where that higher order component is being implemented, it displays a text for you telling you hovered on this component or you hovered on this page. So that's what we'll be looking at. So I was going to share my screen now. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, now, so what we are going to do now is, already we have our React project being created, the latest React version, which is 18, and the latest React Router, which is 6. So the first thing we are going to do now is, inside our SRC folder, we create a folder named HOC. So inside the HOC, we create a file called with 2 tips.jxl. Then we create another file called, let's say, hoverme.jx. So now, inside our app, okay, inside here, we'll just do SFC. We create our functional component, to name it hoverme. It will return a div. Inside the div, it will return a H1 called hoverme. So this is just how our component is going to look like. Then inside our app.js, we're just going to remove this here, the logo, and then we import the hoverme component. You can see it has been imported. So this is just normal way of importing components in React. So if you go to our page now, you see the text hoverme here being displayed. but nothing is happening on it. So we now look at how we can make this thing, whenever our cursor goes here, a text should display using higher order components. So inside our higher order components, we just do SC. Okay, so I'm going to import React. Save here, I will say with 2 tips. So here is our props wrapped components. So this will return this there. So this is, so now what we'll now do is inside our hover me, we are going to import this wrapped component. Sorry, we're going to import with 2 tips rather. So instead of appending this here, like we normally do when using a component like this now, that you passing a props or whatever you want. Instead of doing this that we normally know, what we are going to do now is we call it here, passing this. Are you seeing what I did here?
Yes.
So now we now pass this full component now that says over me to this with 2 tips. So inside here, what we now do is props, because it's a prop, so it should still show our text. Okay, it didn't show it. So what could be the error? Okay, I think I missed something. But that's it. Okay, I will have to have another return. Now you can see our text is still showing. So our text is showing. So even when we pass this component to this our higher order component, it didn't stop our text from displaying. So what we'll now be looking at is how we want, if you hover on this component, display a text. So the next thing is create is we import useState. Then here we'll say costs set to tips. No, cost two tips instead. Set to tips. Okay, because I imported it inside a returned statement. So our test is still showing. No, it did not. So what could be our error? Let's see something. Okay, so now pass our two tips as a prop. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so next we want is we want on mouse over and on mouse out. We want to set when the mouse is hovers on the text, we want to set our two tip to true. When it goes out of the text, we want to set it to false. Then here we pass our function, Then here we take our props, the structure, object destructuring, tips from our props. Yeah, I'll say tips and div yay covered me. So our code is not running. I wonder what that might be. So let's reload and see if it's working perfectly. So it's an invalid hooks call. Hooks can only be called inside of the body of a function component. This could happen if only one of the following reasons. It might be mismatching version of React and the render, such as React DOM. It might be breaking the rules of hooks. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see something. We should be inside this first one. But now it's showing an error. Now let's see the same error. Now let's check. So what could we be doing wrong here? Yes, making our code not to run. Let me comment this out and see. Just pass it through. Okay. This one. If it is still through that error. Let's see. Now it's not showing the error anymore. So that means the error is coming from our use state. Okay. So okay, guys, this I've tried in the older version of React, which is not the latest version of React. Okay, when you are using class components, you guys know of class components in React now, before the introduction of functional components and hooks and all the rest. So in class components, it works perfectly fine, but I don't know why it's having error with functional components using our hooks. use states in React. So I don't know why that is throwing an error saying we are not using our React hooks very well. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So this line is what is giving us this error. Or could that be I should just use one return function for it? Comment this out. Could this be the error? Not still the error. So that means okay guys, I think I don't know why this is showing error for us using use state, because I'm 100% sure that what is there is correct. It shouldn't throw this invalid score. Who can only be called inside of the body of the function component. And that is what we did. We called the return. You might have been such as we are done.
Sorry, is it from my end or is general?
I think it's general.
Okay, all right. Thank you.